Hi, I'm Des with my great grandmother, Marge Skalecki, in Lisle, Illinois, interviewing her about her life.
Exciting. I was always drawn to anything new and exciting, something new to learn, a new piece of equipment, people. I loved it. I look forward to some more. Well, as part of my business is secretarial service and answering service. I had a gentleman who was the president of the Minnesota Commercial Railway. And after I closed my own office, I went to work for him personally as the administrative officer in the office and as his personal secretary. Not really. I think it's harder to take care of one or two than it is to have the seven, because the older children help to take care of the little ones. And they also teach and enforce any of my rules. So it wasn't that bad at all. I do it all over again. As a child, I wasn't really that involved. But I remember the wardens going around the project where we lived with my mother and making sure that there were no lights showing, although we had light-proof shades, but we also had drapes. And we had little flashlights that could turn on the top for a red, a green, or a white that we would use in the house. All kinds of things. Of course, it was food stamps and a lot of things you couldn't get. But as kids, we didn't really realize that as long as we had our 3 meals and each home had its own victory garden. So we used to raise our own potatoes, tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, string beans. But it was fun, though. We had fun. Looking back on it, though, I wouldn't want to go through it as an adult. Well, a phone company, yes, they manufactured phones at Western Electric in Cicero. But when the war came along, it was all converted to war work. And exactly what she did other than assembling parts in boxes, I don't know, because of course they couldn't say anything. But yeah, they made phones there and did wire works for laying the ground wires for phones or the upper wires for phones. It was a big operation. And many of the companies that made pianos and made lawn tractors and such were converted to war work. Ford Company in Cicero Avenue was converted to making parts for airplanes. So that's how the war work went. Well, it's better than reading a book. Living through so many events, it made me more and more aware of what we were taught in our so-called history books. And it's a shame that they're trying now to ban books that would clarify the past history of the country. But in a way, I'm looking forward to sticking around to see the end of this episode. It was great. I had the same BVM nuns at my grammar school, so for me it wasn't a big transition as it would be for a girl coming from a public school. But we had a terrific education, much more than we had in a public school. And we didn't have the distraction of boys. But it was fun. I met some marvelous people that were my friends till they passed away. And 3 of my daughters went there. So it was quite an adventure. And their father was proud as heck. He said that he never had so much fun in high school as when his 3 girls were in St. Mary's, because he got to go to all of their dances and he got to know the nuns. He actually became president of the Fathers Club. And we had a lot of fun with the nuns. They had a great sense of humor, the BVMs. Well, today, depending upon how well I feel each day, then I might take a walk. I do a lot of reading. I love to read. I use a Nook because my eyes aren't what they used to be, so I can make the print bigger. I cheat, but I love the books.
Thank you for agreeing to let me interview you. It was an honor. I love you, and yeah.